Hi, welcome to the Nerdy Dad. Today we're making dough, pasta dough.
In this giant bowl of pasta dough, you will find 7 cups of flour, 7 teaspoons of salt, 9 whole eggs, plus 2 egg whites, and half a cup of water. This pasta's destination is a bowl of noodle soup. For noodle soup, you need pasta with a lot of egg. The egg in the pasta is going to keep the noodle from absorbing an excess amount of the brothy sauce. Let's take a close look at our dough pre-kneaded.
Sticky!
We're going to begin kneading our dough, mixing and hydrating all the flour.
I like to roll it into a log, and you push with the bottoms of your hands, like that. Okay? And what we're trying to do is, even though it's heavy and thick, we're mixing.
Okay.
And the goal here is actually, you need a little bit of flour on the counter to keep it from sticking, but we don't want to keep mixing in a lot of flour. We're going to add as little flour as we can without having it stick. Okay? Here's a piece for you, and here's a piece for you, and here's a piece for me.
I do get the biggest piece.
Because I have the biggest hands. So while we're kneading this dough, what exactly is going on? Other than trying to get out all the lumps and make sure everything's hydrated in our dough mixture, we're developing the gluten. This is all-purpose flour, so we'll call it a medium gluten flour. The gluten is what's going to give it structure and let it hang and dry, and the starch is what's going to absorb water while we boil it to cook. If you didn't want to do this by hand, you can always use your stand mixer. But I think we wanted to get some of our energy out today. Another nice thing about pasta is you don't have to knead it through the whole way. We're going to put this through a pasta roller a few times. That's going to finish the job. So my dough's ready. Let's compare our two. My dough, you can see there's some stretching. You see like the strands of gluten, how that network is being created as we mix it. Where my son's, we try to pull it and it just snaps. That gluten network hasn't been created yet. It doesn't have any stretchiness that we're looking for. That's why we're kneading our dough even to this low.
My hand.
Mary, take your dough. That's Mary's.
I'm trapped.
I'm also trapped. Final bit of our pasta dough after my children mangled the rest. So let's see if we can make this look a little bit, I don't know, edible. This is something that you're going to get a feel for your pasta roller, about how many times you want to roll your dough through. What I like to do is I like to fold my pasta dough in half in the direction that it's rolled, and then give it at least 2 passes on every side gap of your pasta roller, and that just kind of works the flour, works the gluten, and arranges that gluten network in the direction you're rolling. I think officially you're supposed to put seam side down, but it works either way. Don't tell anyone I said that. And keep it rolling. We're going to skip doubling up and go straight to size 4. And we've ripped. I went too fast. Do not fear. We can fix this, make it better. Okay. Now as you keep rolling, this will happen to you. That means you need to flour the outside a little bit. It's a little too damp. The flour is going to desiccate the surface, keep it from being so tacky. Don't worry. It's gonna be fine. This is a little too wide for our cutter. Our cutter needs it a little bit more narrow. So if that happens, I like to fold it in half vertically and then pass it through this way. This is ready for the cutter. We're going to starch the surface, extra starch this time, because once you cut it, you don't want the space where you cut to stick to itself. Now that I starch one side, I like to flip it over, try to shake off some onto the counter, then flip it back. Let the counter do the work. You're gonna have to clean it. We're ready to cut. We have our 3 pasta sheets. We have our pasta cutter. They do make a motor for this, by the way, so you don't have to sit here for hours cranking it, but we use what we got right now. How about you bring that camera over here and get it from this side? So this pasta cutter isn't actually sharp, but you do lose some to the ground. Now you have these really long pasta strands, and we're gonna hang it on dowels, on these wooden rods to dry. So I like to loop it onto itself, and then once they're on the dowels, we're gonna spread it out. And it'll be easier to demonstrate once they're actually on there, because they'll kind of distribute themselves into a reasonable layer or two. This is my biltong box. This is my biltong box. Biltong is a South African beef jerky. No other way to describe it. It's raw. A fan gets put in here, a light bulb gets put in here. It ain't pretty, but it works. You can dehydrate just about anything. We're gonna use this to dehydrate our pasta. Okay, so the reason we loop our pasta is it can sit on these wooden dowels. So let's take a loop like this. You see how it all fits on into your hand like this? You slide it onto your wooden dowel, and I will kind of like agitate it back and forth lightly. And the goal is to make it a little bit more even, so that way it can dehydrate a little quicker. We want everything to dry as fast as possible, and when you put it into your biltong box, it should not touch the sides or bottom. If it does touch the sides or bottom, that part is probably going to go moldy. So the solution to that is you loop it up onto the dowel. You're going to take these off in little bird's nests. They're going to be hard. And once they're off, store them in a zip top bag, Tupperware of your choice.
Now the time has finally arrived to cook off some of our fresh made pasta. You drop the fresh pasta into a pot of boiling, slightly salted water. It cooks in 2 or 3 minutes. It's super fast. Drain it immediately, and we drizzle with some neutral oil to keep it from sticking. We then assembled our bowl of noodle soup. It is a chicken broth base with delicious toppings, but there's no wrong way to eat this noodle.
Here's the biltong box. Pasta's all dry. It was probably dry after an hour or two, but I just let it go for a day and a half. Let's check out how we're doing. I've already taken out the fan, and you can see how the pasta's curved. That means it's totally dry. A few pieces will break, they'll cook just as well. Or all of them will break. It's always a learning process. Ooh. Now, let's take this off the rod. To cook these, you put it in a pot of boiling water. You cook them just like you do dry pasta, except they're going to cook in a much shorter time because this is a flour pasta, not semolina. So these need between 3 and 5 minutes to get going. Thanks for joining us on The Nerdy Dad. Catch you soon.
Nerdy Dad!
Thanks for watching this video with the Nerdy Dad. Subscribe to me on social media @Nerdy Dad Foods for more accessible family food science.